So let's start with the first big lie. The most common phrase I hear in casual conversation, DMs, social media, and open houses and buyer seminars is it's just not possible right now. Hey there, and welcome to the Purchase Path by Azcension Homes. My name is Des Losberg, and I am honored and excited to be here with you today. And this show was created for those who thought to themselves, man, I wish I could own a home. And maybe you thought to yourself, it was just too far out of reach. Maybe it was too expensive, too complicated. Maybe it was too late. Interest rates were too high. Prices were skyrocketing. Maybe you've told yourself it's just not possible right now. My credit's too low. I don't have enough down payment saved up. I don't even know where to begin. Well, before we even get started, I'm here to tell you, and I promise you, that you're not alone. You now have a partner who will help you every step of the way. And most importantly, you're not stuck. At the end of this podcast and every episode, you're going to feel empowered, encouraged. You're going to be educated and have the confidence to go out and take that first step towards home ownership. So a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Des Losberg. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a family man. I'm also a home builder, and I just retired after 22 years in the lending industry. And after those 2 decades of helping people, I've counted thousands of mortgages that I've underwritten, originated from purchases to refinances. I've helped children and grandchildren of a single family, 3 generations worth, get their mortgages. And I learned how important home ownership is to help build generational worth. Now, I created this show just for you because I know the system hasn't made it easy, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. And now you're going to have an advocate, an adversary in your corner helping you along the way. Now, this podcast is bigger than Azcension Homes. Now, before we even get started, I want to be fully transparent here. I want to be very crystal clear. Yes, I'm a home builder. And yes, I know people who are going to listen to this podcast are ultimately going to buy our homes, but that's not the purpose of this show. This podcast isn't some lead funnel. It's not a gimmick. I'm not going to sell an educational 10-part ad campaign at the end of it. Everything I share here is meant to help you, the community. Now, you can take the tips and tricks and resources within this podcast. You can go out and buy from any home builder. It doesn't have to be from us. You can buy existing homes. You can go out of state. You can buy vacation homes, rental homes, whatever it is. These tools are going to be utilized in all industries, in all facets where credit is utilized, and it will help you towards your goal of homeownership. Now, you can take away whatever you'd like from this podcast and use it to buy a home with any builder, any agent, any lender. It does not matter. There is no hidden agenda here. So I wanted to be upfront and honest with you and fully transparent as we head in with our first episode. Because ultimately our goal is not sign contract. We want to fill the gap that no one else is willing to fill, or they're just afraid to. It's that knowledge gap. It's the belief gap. It's the mindset shift to empower people to be able to know what's out there, the programs, what minimum credit scores are required, whether you need down payment or not, where you can buy, how much you can afford. These are the things that most builders, most investors will not take the time to do for you. So whether you're just browsing, whether you're just here stopping by, whether you're educating yourself so you can pass it on to your children, your grandchildren, I'm honored that you're here listening to me, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for you or whoever this helps in the future. So since this is the first episode, I want to take you back to where everything started. Now, I started in the lending retail space in 2003, 22 years ago. I was in the retail lending space at first. I transferred over into mortgage broker world in 2008, and eventually I opened up my own firm, One Stop Lending, in 2019, and that's where most of my associates and colleagues know me from. Now, over those 2 decades, I've helped thousands of people work on their credit reports. I've underwritten loans. I've taught people about disclosures and everything in between. And to be honest, I was really proud of that work. And I was helping people get into homes, but something just wasn't fulfilling me anymore. You see, my son is turning 23 in June, My daughter is now 19, headed off to college, and I'm learning something about our traditional education system. They are not teaching our youth how to get into homes. They're not teaching them how to budget. They're not teaching them how to manage credit. Financial literacy is on the back burner. And I'm seeing the average age of our first-time homebuyer go higher and higher. I'm seeing people stay at home with their parents longer and longer, and that wealth gap growing bigger and bigger. So I'm here to tell you, I want to educate the community. I want to give my wisdom, my 22 years of lending experience, to empower you to bridge that gap so you can take the step forward towards that home ownership that you so desired. Now, I know for a fact that people were always hesitant to take that first step, not because they weren't qualified, or not because they weren't good people, or not because they didn't know it was possible. They just didn't know. They just weren't educated. They just didn't know what was available out there, and they counted themselves out. So I started asking myself, what if I stopped playing inside the system and I built something outside of it? Not just homes, but an educational system, a community where we empower people to be able to go out, be empowered, and make that first step towards their dream of owning a home. And so that's when Azcension was born. And through Azcension came the Purchase Path podcast. I left lending behind. I'm no longer originating loans. I'm retiring the license. I'm shutting the doors. And now we're on to something bigger. Azcension Homes isn't just a ground up construction company. It's not just a real estate play. It's a movement. Our goal in the name itself, Azcension, is to climb, to rise up, because we know home ownership is that catalyst to help people get to that next level. It helps build generational wealth. It helps catapult you to the newest and better version of yourself. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a veteran, whether you're a working class family, you're self-employed, or you're rebuilding your credit, we can teach you a path to ownership. Because the reality is most of the system, most of the builders, most of the lenders don't believe in you. They look at profit over people, and we're here to change that. We don't just build houses, we build hope, we build legacy, and we build belief. And we're going to help you shift your mindset so you believe the same. So this show, this company, and this mission is not about selling homes. It's about giving people the tools and the truth that no one else is willing to talk about. We believe in purpose, and we believe in people over profit. So let's start with the first big lie. The most common phrase I hear in casual conversation, DMs, social media, and open houses and buyer seminars is it's just not possible right now. And you know what? That lie sounds so reasonable that it's just easily believed. Now, maybe you've been told you need more of a down payment, you need to work on your credit, you need to wait for the market to cool, interest rates to come down, you're self-employed, you can't document your income. The list goes on why you can't buy a house. And none of that is the full truth. The other side of one truth is another truth. And that's what the Purchase Path is here to open your eyes to. Because the problem isn't that people aren't ready. It's that they've been missed, looked over, or just never been told how. So that's what we built here at the Purchase Path and the Azcension model. What we offer at Azcension Homes is we built a new model. We've combined construction, education, lending insight into one ecosystem. We've built a community where you can go and interact with one another. We will have preferred partners who will go out and educate you all for free to get you on the path towards own ownership, whether it's with us, another builder, existing builder, or maybe you just want to build your own home. What we do differently is we have lease to own programs. We will teach you on the opportunities there. Let you live in the home while paying rent and also building equity towards your purchase if you're not ready right now. The 100% down payment programs where you can get 100% of your purchase financed, all your closing costs, grant programs, USDA loans, veteran loans, all of it, you name it. There's a plethora of different programs out there that you might not even be aware of. Did you know there is a program out there where you don't even need to document your income if you live and meet certain criteria? Yes, there are programs out there, whether you're a veteran or whether you're located in a certain area, you can qualify and have everything paid for on your behalf so you don't have to come to the closing with nothing out of your pocket. And you know what? The payment is almost exactly the amount you're probably paying in rent right now. Now, you've heard of all the down payment assistance programs, whether it's covering your 3.5% down for FHA, 3% down, 1% down programs, have your closing costs. We can show you how to structure, negotiate with the builder, negotiate with the seller, and structure your home loan and your offer so that way you get everything covered for you. Not only is your down payment going to be covered, but your closing costs as well. And we'll show you all of that. We'll dedicate a whole episode on how to structure that exactly for you. And we'll show you what the true numbers are. We will show you custom lending solutions no matter your situation. Whether you can't prove your income, whether you need alternate documentation, whether you don't have an income history or the credit needed, every episode that we do from here on out will educate you in that space. We will give you the custom lending paths regardless of your situation. Whether you're self-employed, you can't document your income, whether you don't have the income history or you're currently credit challenged, we will share with you the different programs that are out there today. Through my 22 years in the lending industry, I've helped barbers, I've helped Uber drivers, freelancers, I've helped families. I've helped families who couldn't even prove their income, who had zero documentation. I helped them get into homes and they were not aware of what was out there. So we will educate you in that space. Again, I don't do loans anymore, but I will educate you with the wisdom and the programs that are out there. And that way you're empowered and you have the courage to be able to go out and start building your dream. Now I want to talk a little bit about Azcension and the name and what it means. Ascension means to rise, to grow, to elevate, to reach new heights. We want to provide an opportunity for you, not only through the purchase path in the educational space, but through the homes we build, because we know this is something bigger and higher than just square footage or pulling permits. It's a rejection of greed and corner cutting that I saw both in the lending and land development space. It's returning to a heart-led business where impact means more than margin, where people and purpose mean more than profit. We're not in this to flip houses. We're in this to flip mindsets. So here's what's coming in future episodes. In episode 2, we're going to teach you ways you could buy a home that you didn't think were possible. We're going to show you why a down payment is not necessary and break down all your different options. We're going to share with you lease to own options, lease to purchase options, how it works, what contracts to avoid, some of the terms, and we're going to show you a readiness path and prepare you towards home ownership. We'll have real stories of home buyers and their success. We'll bring on realtors and lending partners. We'll have city mayors and governors come in, talk about their grant programs. We'll tell you how to get seller credit, stack grants, and we'll show you all the different programs that are available to you so you can get in a home sooner than you thought was even possible. We'll share with you the hidden traps in new construction, how to protect yourself. We'll get questions and answers from you, from our listeners and community members. And you will also be invited to our exclusive home education and home buyer courses in our home office. And we're going to be here with you every step of the way, whether it's tomorrow, next week, month, year, or even decade. You're going to be educated. You're going to be empowered. You're going to be encouraged to be able to make that next step forward. So if you like what you hear, what you need to do next, the first simple step is to like and subscribe this podcast. Leave us a comment and head over to our online community on Instagram and Facebook. And that way we can start interacting with you and start getting you prepared towards your home ownership. So follow this podcast, join our online community. We'll link it in our show notes. And most of all, share this episode with someone you care about and who could use this information, because you're not the only one who's felt stuck. You're not the only one that felt it wasn't possible. You're not the only one who's believed the lie. And maybe you could share with someone else who could use this as a turning point. So you don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to wait another year. All you got to do is take that next step. And that's what we're going to give to you. We're going to educate you, encourage you, empower you every single week. And again, my name is Des Losberg. This is The Purchase Path by Azcension Homes. This is your future, your home, your story, and it starts right here. Let's build it together. The cost of living has pushed too many families out of the communities they love. They work hard, but still can't afford enough space. Rent keeps rising and home ownership feels like a distant dream. That's where the purchase path comes in. I'm Des Losberg, founder of Azcension Homes, and I retired after 22 years in the lending industry after I kept seeing the same pattern. Good, hardworking families getting locked out, not because they didn't deserve a home, but because no one ever showed them a real way forward. This podcast exists to change that. Here you'll learn about real paths to ownership like zero down financing options, down payment grants, lease to own programs, and financing options that are actually designed for families like yours. This isn't about fluffy dreams or get rich quick advice. It's about clarity, options, strategy. So whether you're relocating, renting, or just tired of waiting, you'll get the tools and the truth to move forward one step at a time. Follow The Purchase Path now on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen and start your journey with Azcension Homes. Your path, your purchase, your time.